The contest is for one presidential seat, 469 National Assembly seats, 29 gubernatorial seats, 991 House of Assembly seats. Who takes these seats?
Hello.
And now, the youth can vote.
Hello.
And now, the youth can vote.
Hello.
And now, the youth can vote.
Hello.
And now, the show is Thursday on 95.1 Nigerian.
All right. The very first edition of the show, ready to run live here on 95.1 Nigeria Info. And I know that quite a number of people have been waiting for this very moment. It's a full-blown electioneering season. Campaigns have started. And a lot of people earlier on were talking about if we should have a presidential debate or not. Would we have platforms where we get to hear and interface with some of the candidates? Well, this is one of such platforms. I can confidently say that when we get to hear from them what it is they have to offer, if and get your vote for 2019. And I'm excited to have Samson Itudu back here, co-anchor in this show. Samson, it's been a while. Welcome back to radio.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure and a great delight to be here. I actually missed the mic. This is, when we're planning this show, planning to come back on air, I was just wondering, how long did it take us? We've been off air for about like 3 years now. The last time was post 2015. But I did miss all the listeners. Thanks so much for all the love and all the likes and all the tweets that all our fans out there actually sent. And we're very, very delighted to be back on air with this show. I think this is going to be hotter than the road to 2015 because we're focusing on candidates, we're focusing on the voters, and we're creating that platform where candidates and voters can meet. We want to bring candidates, especially youth candidates, so the voters who are out there can ask them, hey, why are you running? Why are you seeking my vote to actually run? Why are you seeking my vote in the next round of elections? So it's such a delight.
So we're looking at some sort of debate, intellectual discourse.
Well, sometimes it can be debate, sometimes it can be dialogue, sometimes it can be, well, we don't expect people to actually fight on the show, but what we expect is we want to promote issue-based campaigns. Was it yesterday INEC was saying, oh, we are hailing the parties because the parties are focusing more on the issues. And I think that's the kind of politics that we'd like to see and then build up to the 2019 elections.
It seems like issue-based, issue-driven campaigns are a little more difficult. It takes a lot of thinking and planning and putting out your manifesto, your plan, what you represent out there, which is an antithesis of hate speech. Hate speech is easy, propaganda is easy. Throw some of these things out, create a bit of ruffle some feathers, get Nigerians talking about the most mundane things. So it's going to be a lot of work, attention to these real issues.
Well, it's for too long we focus more on just background of people or their ethnic extraction. Sometimes and how communication is the graphics and the campaigns, and there's so much intentionality in the politics now. But what we're running and come on air and talk to voters about what you want to do, and so voters can also engage you in discourse. And this is brought to you by Yaga Africa. And for the next couple of weeks, until after the elections, you're going to hear it. I know you hear things like Kimberly's voice all the time, but this time around, I'm going to hear with Kimberly every Thursday at this time to actually engage with candidates and to talk to you about elections. Perhaps before we introduce our guests, because we've got two young people who are running for office. They are seeking your vote. If you're listening to us on the FCT, we've got two gentlemen in the studio who want your votes on either February 16th or March 2nd. But we've got two gentlemen in the studio today who will tell us why they actually want to run. And you're going to get an opportunity to ask them the question, why do you want my vote? And let them tell us what exactly they want to do. We're not going to let the cat out of the bag here, but I think there are two very important information and updates we'd like to bring to your notice. INEC has just issued a fake news alert that there has been a broadcast either on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on different platforms that the Commission is extending voter registration. Please discountenance that information. It is fake news. It is not true. INEC is not extending or opening any continuous voter registration. The voter registration has been concluded, and now you're expected to go and collect your permanent voter's card as you prepare to vote in the 2019 elections.
All right, that's
I'll leave you, Kimberly, to introduce our guest.
all right. Riding on the coat of the Not Too Young to Run campaign, we have some very
The voter registration has been concluded.
contenders here with us in the studio, and I think it's in order to start off with. We have Osaho Pius with us here in the studio, and Tonya Dan with us in the studio. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome to the Ready to Run show. I think we should give them a round of applause because they are the first guests who are featuring on the show. For those of you who can actually watch this, you can see they are dressed alike, but it does appear because you're all wearing purple. But it's great to have you on the Ready to Run show. Perhaps I should start with you, Toya. Maybe you tell our listeners out there, just in a few seconds, who are you?
Okay, thank you very much for having us, having me here. My name is Toyin Dani Sokrari. I'm running for the position of chairman of the Abuja Municipal Area Council. I am a passionate believer of the local government council and how it affects the individuals. My belief is the failure of the local government as it is why a lot of us are focusing our energy and our strength at the center. So if the local government is functioning perfectly, then we'll be able to actually, focus more on a lot of issues at the center.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Ooh, 31. Okay.
And from what I see here, humanitarian ambassador for the Institute of Humanitarian Studies and
Yes.
Social Development,
Yeah.
as well as former technical assistant on protocol, cross-sector matters in the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And now that you're running for chairman at Abuja Municipal Area Council at 31, it'll be interesting to know what you indeed have to offer.
Absolutely.
Well,
I really look forward to hearing what you have to say because a lot of people say, "Oh, you're not too young to run," and young people don't have experience. If at 31 you've got this intimidating resume, it will be great for our listeners out there to actually hear what you've got in store for them. Yes, our next guest is architect Osaho. Please let our listeners listen to you and meet you.
Thank you, Sam. My name is Osaho Pius. Running under the platform of Alliance for New Nigeria. We are technicians there. We pride ourselves to be called technicians. Our goal is for a new Nigeria, and I'm running for the House of Representatives for Amakwari constituency here in the FCT. Our goal is, part of our goals are for youth and our future. Now, what is actually going on is, in this FCT is that there's no hope, and we are here to restore hope. We are here to restore a new Nigeria, and that's why we are here.
Okay, it's great, and welcome to Ready to Run once again. And perhaps let me start with you, Toyin. Why are you running for office?
Like you said, I'm first a humanitarian. I pride myself in that. I believe in people, and I stand for people. Trying to ensure that people are not, in any way intimidated or maligned in any way. I'm running for office because I see that there's a failure in the way governance is being carried out at the local council level. And that's why I'm running for that position. Like I said earlier in my opening remark, I said, if our local council is functioning effectively, then we'll be able to focus on more important issues at the center. The first government you meet as an individual in any environment you live or function in is the local government. So if we're able to get that working, then people can be able to, live at peace and with one another, and all the issues or vices we have as a society can be reduced.
It's also interesting to know how much of the need of AMAC is. Because sometimes you interface with certain people when they're talking, it just seems like, okay, I want to run. You really understand the gaps that need to be filled, the challenges of the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, that is. Because it seems like so much is going on here. What's happening to Kuje, Gwagwalada, Abaji? People will say there's so much going on here, but we still have urban poverty nested within AMAC itself.
I think just to also add to the question, it's very important because I'm sure the listeners would like to know, what do you even know about AMAC? Because you want to run for AMAC, so what do you know about AMAC?
Okay, I know that AMAC is being governed by a chairman, and he has also a vice chairman. We also have the local councillors of each ward. AMAC is made up of 12 wards and approximately about 144 communities. AMAC also is in charge of markets, parks. They're in charge of the signages, water, primary health care. So they're basically in charge of the first, like I said, the first things that, the first governance structure for the people, basically. So the first person you meet is the person who guards you, who secures you, who provides water for you, who ensures that you have lights on your streets, who ensures that you're secure, basically, who ensures that you have good roads and all that. And that's basically what AMAC was set up to do.
Okay. So at least you know the basics, but you'll be surprised when we open the phone lines and these issues are presented to you.
Sure.
It might come up as a curveball, but just brace yourself for it all the same, because people want to know that there are other contenders who are grounded. You're young. Sometimes you hear people say, young people, what do they know? These issues might be over your head. So I just hope that somehow you've marinated yourself in the real issues that will be thrown at you when the time is right.
Sure.
Okay. So let's go on to Osa, who is he's an architect and vying for, say, the Federal House of Representatives, representing Abuja Municipal Area Council and Buhari constituency.
You know the interesting thing? We are all
to represent and govern you.
So that's very interesting. Yeah, also.
Now, Twain has said a lot, and I will add to what he has said. AMAC and Buhari constituency is made up of a lot of issues that needs to be settled. These need attention, ranging from unemployment, infrastructure needs, to education deficits, sports, safety and security, and also healthcare needs. These are issues, real issues. It goes beyond just words or just councillors. These are real issues that affect real people. And that's what AMAC Buhari constituency is all about right now. How do we settle all of this? How do we find a solution? Not just for today, but for tomorrow. Because I can boldly tell you that right now it's past 4, and there's someone out there in a junction looking for how to get transport. It's not that she can't afford Uber, it's just that she has to manage her resources, or he has to manage his resources, because he has 5 children at home. December is just by the corner, so he or she has to struggle to enter a car code alone, manage with 4 people, thinking that's what we are solving here. That's what we should solve here. That's what's actually going on in AMAC Buhari constituency, and that's what, as a House of Reps, we're going to solve through legislative works.
Yeah, because you know how you go to people matters also here.
Uh-huh.
I know you might be young, maybe, I don't know, rookie. Have you run for election before? This is the first time. So going as a rookie.
Well, at least I have experience. I have experience from the various institutions that I attended.
Over the years. But here's something. People go and demand for votes and act like they're going for, say, the office of the executive governor, promising things that they know is not within their capacity, not within their jurisdiction. And that's why at the end of the day, you see Nigerians demanding, but you said this thing during campaign, and then you want to tell them afterwards, oh, I'm going to legislate on it. So how to express those thoughts is also very important for people to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Just to ask, have you voted before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you have to be very, very honest. And it's fine if you've not voted before.
I have voted, I've participated. I've been at this since 2010, 2011. Yes, I've been voting ever since.
Okay, so you've been very politically active.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
talk about experience, and you brought a very, very interesting dimension to this conversation about campaigns. And we know that the FCT, although very cosmopolitan in nature, but there are ongoing debates and conversation around indigenship and settlership. And from your identities, none of you actually come from the indigenous group in the FCT. Has that been an issue for you on this campaign?
It's been, I think it's the first thing that everybody says to you when you meet them, so of course it's a big issue. However, we have AMAC, for instance, where I'm running for.
Oh, you're trying to run?
No, I'm running for.
Okay.
AMAC
Just
AMAC has had, previous chairmen that are actually not indigenous. So, and the way the FCT is set up, it is supposedly allowed for anybody who lives here to be able to run or vote and be voted for in AMAC. So I think FCT is what embodies the nationalistic, country, as we call it. So anybody can actually run for office here, especially if you're able to reach out to the people and they believe you and they trust you and they can actually vote for you. So, for instance, I live here. I've lived here for almost 2 decades.
For the purpose of listening about those 2 decades,
for almost 20 years.
20 years.
I got married here. My family, my kids are here. So where am I going to actually? Christmas, I'm here. January through December, I'm here. So you can, like someone says, oh, you're more of an indigenous. Yes, anywhere you have stayed for almost 20 years, you should be regarded as an indigenous of that place.
Since who?
You should be.
You should be,
Yeah.
but it's not backed by the Constitution.
Constitution.
We're looking at the amendments to that effect.
Yeah, that's why I said
That's
you
it.
should be.
So while
Yeah.
we're still working that one out, there's someone who is originally from this land who is saying, what's in it for us?
All right. Before I started on this journey, I had to do a little finding, and I spoke with some indigenes, 4 indigenes here. And the question he asked me was, what truly makes one an indigene?
I got married here. My family, kids are here.
We've had successive indigenes who have been in this position, but have they embodied the spirit of indigenship? What makes one truly an indigene? Is it this? It's all about. It's all about what do you carry? That service, that attitude towards service. That's what makes one an indigene. Like my brother here too said that he has been in humanitarian activities all his life in the FCT. Now that's what truly makes him an indigene. I'm able to give back, and he's going to a higher level, just like I am going to a higher level of service. Coming as your legislator in Amaguari constituency, there's a lot we can do. Right, just like I mentioned, from safety and security, education and sports, unemployment, now representation in Amaguari. Now, why don't we have a mayor, a representative of the people? Why must it be an FCT minister? These are issues that need to be tackled, and we need serious people who have looked beyond, oh, he's a non-indigene and he's an indigene, because to me, it's just been my picking nature.
Okay, let's start off because people are listening to us. Messages are still coming in, and we're just going to fire for more cylinders here. God's kind from Usako is saying, I don't mean to be rude to the 2 folks running for office at the AMAC level. They should go back to the drawing board, but put me in the same room with them, and I might beat them down. Question to them is, what are their plans about indiscriminate tax bidding on people living within Amak area? And he really saying, you're young, he expects intelligent response beyond what he would get as usual rhetorics from the others. So there's a case of billings. I know sometimes people were talking about tenement rates, blocking the apartment. So you think of ingenious ways to address some of these issues. Are you in touch with that fact that people complain about multiple taxations? You go to some schools, they say we don't even understand who we pay to. 1 minute we have officials coming from our market, the next minute we have people coming from the federal government. Just so much going on.
Just also before you respond, to tell God's kind that these two gentlemen, Tony and Osa, are very smart and intelligent people, and that's why we have them on the show. But let's listen to their response.
Okay, God's kind. It's a very nice one, and it's good. Now, like I said, when we started this journey, my team and I, the first thing we did was that we disposed our cars. We started using public transport. We started using keke along, so we actually know what's going on. We are aware about the billing system, and it's outrageous. I met in one of the taxis, and I met a certain one of the drivers. His name I withhold right now. He said that, do you know that in Gariki, they take so much from me, and what do I have to take home? Because in a day, this was around 2 o'clock, he only made, I was his first passenger, and that was 300 naira he took from me. He said, what is he going to take home? I was in a keke, and oh my God, you can imagine how much is taken from them. Every step of the way, every traffic light.
What are you going to do now if people vote you as a member of the House of Reps?
Is it the House of Reps?
It's House of Reps. Yes. Also,
No,
I'm
yeah,
running for House
also,
of Reps.
Now, part of my job as your legislator is to review constitution and policies on such things as tax, and also to foster a good relationship with the AMAC chairman. And you have to sit down to review such things, such as taxes.
Reviewing higher or lower? 'Cause
Lower.
review can be
No,
higher.
reviewing lower. Reviewing lower. Why do I say that? Because if you say you are taking from, so if you're taking, I make 200 naira in a day, and you're taking 15 naira or 100 naira from me, I believe that should be used positively for my own good, and it should be worth it. So if we are reviewing it lower, then what we are using that money for should be evident in the lives of AMAC indigents or AMAC citizens.
So you're going to propose a bill towards
Yes,
that effect,
towards that, and it will be used. Those funds will be utilized, implemented wisely. Implemented wisely. I use that word implement because we have a lot of bills that are not implemented.
All right. And then the man who is running for action is thinking, how am I going to make money?
Yeah.
How will I fix the
Yeah,
road
'cause
in
they
BRD
are
across?
actually
If I say
part of this.
review
Okay,
that
first
one.
of all, I have a personal example of the multiple taxation, I say policy or activity of the AMAC, or yes, of AMAC. My wife runs a small boutique business, and every year she has to look at what's my profit and and all that. And we found out that 45% of her profit goes on paying bills to AMAC. Now that is just the bill minus how much she's going to pay for her rent, and all that. Now, what we plan to do is we need that process to be properly streamlined. You see, if you don't streamline that process, then you have these different human beings coming to your offices or your shops and all that to demand that they are AMAC officials and they want you to pay a certain amount, or they close down your shop. So at the end of the day, why are citizens paying taxes so that the government can run and can provide services to you? But if the people are paying those taxes, and those taxes are, you're demanding so much from them, and those taxes are not even properly, I'm not sure AMAC properly gets it, because sometimes those guys come and they say, give me the money. They don't want you to go and pay it into a bank. They don't want you to, so no, they're giving you one funny receipt that you can't take to anywhere. So there's a lot of the whole process is shrouded with some form of, secrecy or something that needs to be overhauled completely and simplified and streamlined, so that if a businessman decides he's going into a business, he can know, okay, based on what I'm doing, this is how much I'm paying to AMAC. But if you ask individuals, they don't have that information. So those are some of the policies we're going to bring in streamlining that multiple taxation character of AMAC.
Commercial break. I'll be back with more. And yes, you get to ask them questions also. You can send them, keep them coming already. You can tweet at Nigeria Info, ABJ. You can send via,
yeah, you can also tweet at Yaga, Yaga, Y-I-A-G, tweet handle, Y-I-A-G-A. Send your questions to us and we'll definitely pick them up, or use the hashtag ready to run. Ready to run, use the hashtag Twitter handle is Y-I-A-G-A.
Don't become better hustle. The one when no one sing one rap. Everybody thinks if man not sabi person, nobody go show him as a team they go. Now when they come ginger me, when make I sabi say Google, help me push my hustle well. So on top say I must make up for this music industry. One day, I open my Google app, come begin to search for everything when concern music production. I search for software to even the kind instruments being pure. I search something today. My hustle don't do better. Start with a search for Google. Why for your hustle by Google? Search now. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Ibe Kachiko, welcomes you to the 18th International HSE Biennial Conference on the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. Theme: driving sustainability in the oil and gas industry through improved stakeholders' environmental stewardship. Date: November 26 to 28, 2018. Venue: Hotel and Suites, Victoria Island, Lagos. Registration fee: 100,000 naira per participant, 50,000 naira for CPC members, 50,000 naira for presenting authors, 20,000 naira for students with valid ID cards. Indoor exhibitions: 180,000 naira per booth. This event is organized by the Ministry of Petroleum and its affiliate bodies.
Sandra, that's what my mother-in-law just showed yesterday. She just they talk, say, where my pikin kitchen? Where my room for my pikin house? She walk out the whole house, so they look for dirty up and down. Now, wow. From the tile to kitchen sink, from bed sheets to towel. You know me now, I be experts to the common your member for inside my house. I'm not hypo at the use.
Make your white cloth and your house, they shine. Clean the and gems come over your house with hypo. Make your white cloth, they speak for you.
So, what's it going to happen now? I thought she just changed hands. My wife. Every other wife, I can't have it all. Endorsed by the Nigeria Medical Association.
Now available in libraries.
Do you want to travel the world with an unforgettable experience? Travel Wings has you totally covered.
Yeah.
We guarantee you world-class customer service, highly competitive ticket prices, and so much more. Visit us on www.travelwings.com.ng or you visit our Lagos office at Zara Plaza, Sheraton Link Road, Kejo, Lagos. Travel Wings. Come get your wings back.
All right, check. Okay, we're back. Ready to launch show. Continues here. And I see that belonging to you, you have our WhatsApp number. But here is something. We're going to redirect you to a different WhatsApp number. I want you to just note this one down for this specific show ready to run. Send every discussion related opinion, questions, and reservations. Exactly. And agenda. Remember, it's important issues there. Yeah. So let's look at these issues that are important to you. Those issues that concern you, that you see every day, and you think, hey, it's time to engage them, ask questions. Be sure of what to be.
Yeah, because for us at the Yaga Africa, we're very, very clear, as well as the Nigerians. We don't want people to just vote for people because they are young. We want you to vote for people because they've got the capacity, they've got the content, they've got the character, and they've got the competence. So not too young to run is about young people who have stuff, who care about leadership, and who have what it takes to go wrong. So that's why we're supporting them. And this Ready to Run show brought to you by Yaga Africa with support from the European Union is just providing support and visibility to these good candidates who really have what it takes to run for office. And to bring them closer to you so you can engage them, because this show is actually about you. It's not about us. We're simply providing a platform for you to engage with this candidate. Yeah.
All right, so to send your messages, please send to this WhatsApp number 0903 8028654. That's 0903 8028654. But for those who have sent already to Nigerian Info, let's just run through some of them.
Yeah.
Hamza is saying, to the gentleman who is saying he sold off his car, I'm sure you buy another one when you go to the two office, or will you be flying a public service bus all through? And here is it. He's saying, How would you provide basic health facility and build hospitals that are affordable and well equipped? Because human development index for Nigeria is at risk. It's the education, health, environment. That's some of the key issues. And yes, you would think Abuja people are enjoying some luxuries, but there are some communities you go to, no primary health care center. And this is within your purview, sir, to address that. So, how will you go about health? Primary healthcare centers, clinics, and the likes.
Primary health centers, clinics are like the first, like I said, those are some of the things that we want to do when we get into power. To build the primary health centers, and the ones that do have, we'll have to look at them and ensure that they are functioning.
I'm actually curious to ask, where are you going to get the money to build those primary healthcare centers?
First of all, the monies that are available to the local council. First of all, like I originally said, it needs to be judicially used. And some of those things are some of the things we want to do. We're interested in the health centers.
You know the budget of the of AMAC for 2018
is about 6.5 billion.
6.5 billion. What about IGR for AMAC?
The IGR for AMAC is put at 500, but I think that is grossly inadequate.
The rep is already talking about cutting down some of these taxes.
When I say grossly inadequate, I'm not saying that people are not paying, taxes. I'm saying there are a lot of loopholes. So the monies are not coming together. So if you look at, for instance, what's happening at the federal government with the TSA, you find out that because all monies is going to a particular cost, you have more monies in the kitty and it's being used judiciously. So the same thing what we want to do is streamlining the processes. All these monies should be able to come to a particular place so that we know that this is what we have. It's part of our planning.
So you build, apart from building models?
Also, for the communities, we want to develop what we call a community development fund. We call this CDF. Now, the whole idea of that fund is to get these communities to come out and say, this is what we want to do. It's like engaging them, basically. They are the ones that, who say, okay, I want this, I want a road, I want water, I want school, based on what their issues are. Because some communities have healthcare, some don't have. So if as a local council, we just say we want to sit in our offices and do what we like, services that are not needed for that local council. So what we want to do is to develop that fund that will be managed and implemented by them at the community level. That way they can take ownership. And once they take ownership, then you're sure that thing will stand the test of time.
In support of what we're going to do, yes, because we come from different parties, but one thing is,
and you're going to have different people in your community when you're looking at this issue.
But I am going to work with the AMAC chair. That's one thing we're supposed to focus. It might be him, it might not be him. So whoever is speaking, I might be speaking to someone out there. So this is what we're going to do. First of all, in the healthcare sector, we know that yes, let's not kid ourselves about that. In almost every community, almost every village, you might have a building but nothing inside. You might have people there but no building. So what we do first of all is that, because as a legislator, I'm allowed to create strategic alliances, seek funding for AMAC constituency. We have to engage our public health nurses now. They have what's called the IT program. We have to engage them seriously now. And engaging them, that's one. Two, we have to have our alliances internationally, because we have people, we have countries, we have various unions that are ready to partner with us, ready to take our nurses, our doctors to the next level, public health nurses to the next level. So why not engage these two parties? Take them to that grassroots, because that's what public health is all about. Taking them to the grassroots, solving these needs.
But is that a responsibility? Because I know that the responsibility of a legislator, one is to make laws,
Yes.
two is to provide oversight of the executive,
Yes.
and three is actually representation.
Yes, and also to seek strategic alliances that will bring funds for those committees, and that's what's called representing. It's not just mouth.
That's why. All right, that's fine. In case you're just joining us on the show, this is Ready to Run, a show brought to you by Agri Africa. We support the European Union focused on youth candidates running for the 2019 general elections. This is a show where candidates and voters meet to engage on issues that will define the 2019 elections. We've got two candidates who are with us today in the studio. We've got Toye, who is running for AMAC. There's a chairmanship of the Abuja Municipal Area Council under the All Progressive
Grand Alliance.
All ABGA under the All Progressive Grand Alliance, and he's 31 years and very, very young. So he's not too young to run. So we're glad to actually have you on the show. But this show is actually meant for people here. On this show, we also have our architect, Osahon Pius, who's running for the House of Reps for AMAC Wari Federal Constituency. Also, you didn't tell us how old you are.
34.
Oh, you're 34.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are two young gentlemen. They are within the youth age. National Youth Policy says young persons in Nigeria classified between 18 and 35. So it's actually great. I know we're going to take calls, we're going to ask questions, but perhaps while we take those calls, we would like you to also tell us how's your campaign been and whether you have upcoming campaign activities that you want people to actually follow. So let's open the phone line.
Oh yes, we do that. And just so you know, it's always from under the platform of the Alliance for New
Yes, the Alliance for ANN. So Toye is from ABGA and also is from
call us up from 094600 That's 094600 0803 123 or 080 008 info. To send messages, please send to this WhatsApp number 0903 28654. You might want to save that number as Ready to Run.
Yeah.
That's what we use subsequently on the show.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it short, straight to the point, 1 minute maximum. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome, sir.
This is Peter calling you from
Go ahead, Peter.
I want to ask the guy I want to come in for as the chairman of the local council.
Yeah.
Now, I want to take examples like I said the party formally. Now, if you look at what is happening in the party, they collect a lot of taxes from those Okada, or what do they call it? Those Okada men. But if you look at the road, it is very, very bad. Very, very bad. For a whole year, if you want to calculate the money those guys are calculating, it's only $2 million. Now, they are not using this money to repair their roads, but everything is correct. Now, if you come in as a player, what do you intend to do concerning the case like that? I'm telling you party as an instance, but it happens everywhere. I think the money just from the government come and blocking the road, collecting money, and the whole year that road remains like that.
Okay.
So what do you intend to do in such a situation?
All right, we'll note that down. I'm sure the question is directed to. Note it down.
So, Kimberly,
Yes, you're welcome.
I agree on some guests there. This is Mr. Salim Kolomokabu, sir.
Go ahead.
I think as you are young, I'm very happy for that. But my question goes like this. Okay. So, like now, one year back, 2 years back now, they should let us or take us the philanthropy things that they have do. They whether they go to the committee where they will run and empathize them, help them develop them so that things. Not that you help so that you are not taught. Because like the parent have some people, they will not be doing help to bring you or maybe help to go that thing. Or you're just maybe close to election 1 year or 2 months, they'll just come outside, started rushing for people to go there. They pray, some of them don't have money, and then they complain that they don't go there. They put you do.
that is the money you have. If you do coaching between 2 years, if you convert, people will go to. So they should update us. What they have already helped us and they are run. Thank you.
What have they done? What is their record? Yes, I think that's what they're asking for. And let's take 2 more and give you guys time to respond. Hello.
Yeah, I think good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, Mr. and my young gentleman. But I'm not telling young because I have my own time. I'm within your age. So the what I want to ask you, we have for trader, so I'm not a trader. All this, when this demolition of market, before they start that market, what people like this, why can't people tell them, don't do market like, not after spending money on everything low from banks, spending money from the old state first, and borrowing money and start that market. At the end of the day, you put that person into stress. So what, and when you people have to get that post and reach here, you forgot. You will not remember again. Because I know the lady here in the studio, the presenter Kim, that lady is very intelligent. There was something she told me, and people around me are giving me that question. And today, in fact, I'm regretting. I didn't use the opportunity I have at my own age. So use that opportunity and do something.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, we'll take
Hello,
this last
good
one and give our guest.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, my name is Daniel. I'm calling from Lebanon.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I think mine is more recommendation for these young people for putting their hearts into the rain, basically.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing to see that we're living in times like before now it's unheard of. Young people coming out to run for offices. And although a lot of people think that they haven't shown the kind of intelligence that is supposed to be shown by young persons, let's just say that not everybody has the intelligence by being charismatic or being overly articulate.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they've got a lot of steam around them. Those guys, they articulate very charismatic aspects of their electioneering campaign as well. But listening to them, I think the two people are very meticulous, and I just want to give you my commendation for what you do. Whether or not you win an election, it's not a definition of how good you are. Just keep yourself in the saddle, and I tell you, you're going to pay off eventually.
Thank you very much. So
Thank you.
we have about
very powerful words of encouragement. And that's what this show is actually about, is bringing these young candidates to interact and interface with the voters out there. But thanks for that inspiration. I'm not a candidate, but I was actually inspired by the last one. And that's what our young candidates here need, that support and that work, because a lot of them have what it takes to actually provide excellent public leadership. We just need to have the opportunities to do so.
we have about 5-6 more minutes to do this. So how much of it you can respond to?
With WhatsApp message from Charlotte and say good afternoon. Please, I'd like to know what strategic plans Tony has about youth inclusion in AMAC. So youth inclusion in AMAC is coming from Barima. We've also got from Obieze Jos from CBD, that's Central Business District. So greetings to your guest. Please, how would your guest tackle the issue of white elephant jobs, and in bracket, where people claim to have built or furnished primary or secondary schools, but in the actual sense, it doesn't exist? And what would you do to tackle the issue of white elephant jobs? The second is, who would you tackle, or how would you tackle linkages in revenue generation in the FCT? I think it's talking about leakages in the revenue generation in the FCT. And what are your plans for the respect of the new questions? But in summary, can you just respond to yeah. Okay, maybe we start with the House of Reps candidates or also.
So, asked, what have I done within what humanitarian jobs? Okay, my track record. Yes. Okay. I started out with during my youth service days with the that is NYC, that is Red Cross. So that is why I have a little idea about public health. And also I've served as an architect within Abuja here. Design buildings, overseen construction, and also worked with engineers. So I have an idea of all infrastructure works within the FCT. You may say that these infrastructure works, I was paid for it. For every humanitarian job, at least, you will be encouraged to an extent, even if it's volunteering. But at one point in time, I remember I had wanted to volunteer as a road safety as a field as a marshal. I think I felt ill that period. So that's for that. Then tackling white elephant jobs. We didn't really get
If
a full.
you're aware of any of
Yes,
the white elephant projects.
But if it's fine if you know,
I'm not really aware about that.
because we need to take.
Okay, sorry.
I'll encourage lots of questions. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to start with Stanel and tell him thank you very much for the encouragement. I must confess, when you have like one encouragement, it looks like a lot, because a lot of times when you're faced with these people, it's like everybody just is taking from you. So when somebody says thank you, it means a lot to me as a person. I'm going to start with the first question with the guy from Pape who talked about.
Can you do
Yeah,
it in say minute 30 seconds?
I'll try to do that. So it's about taxes and how those taxes are. The haphazard taxes collected from tricycles and the taxis at the junction, and how the roads are not working. I said earlier that we'll streamline that process, so all that will stop when I get into government come March 2nd. We also talked about traders and demolition of markets and all that. And if you've been following us, we said our government will be about people. So before those things happen, we will engage the people. Yeah, we can't do anything without the people. So
Unfortunately, we just have to hold it there on this week's edition of the show. We've been joined this afternoon by two gentlemen who are seeking your votes in the FCT. Mr. Osaho Pius Agedo, who is running for the House of Representatives under the ANN, which is the Alliance for New Nigeria Party, as well as Onyeda Isokarare, who is running for the AMAC chairmanship position under the All Progressive Alliance. In just perhaps 10 seconds, for our listeners out there who want to reach you, do you have a website, a campaign website, or you've got Twitter handle? How can listeners out there actually reach you in case some of them want to join your campaign and they want to provide any form of support? Quickly.
To encourage the youth, we have a website called www.piusosaho.com.ng, and it has all Facebook, Instagram, Twitter there.
Okay, Pius, www.piusosaho.com.ng. That's the website, the campaign website of Pius Osaho, who is running for the House of Reps on the ANN party.
our website is toy2019.com. Our Instagram is toy_Isukurari and vote Toy2019. Our Twitter is Toy Isukurari, and our Facebook is Toy2019 and vote Toy2019.
Thank you very, very much. And that's it for this edition of the show.
Yep.
How's it been? Last 5 minutes?
Great to get to talk with them and getting people to interface with them. This platform quite amazing. But I know to get even more fire and more animated as it goes on.
So
this
much.
is just getting started.
You know, when it comes to Yaga, when it comes to not too young to run, when it comes to ready to run, we are always we're always on fire, just like we did for Road to 2015. And it's such a delight to be back to the mic. And I will be here next week and also today, also after the elections on Ready to Run show. Yaga Africa with support from the European Union. Until we come your way, same time, same station next week. Please remember that there's no democracy without you.
I think it's on that. Thank you so much. Don't touch your dial though, there's more to come. The news and then football frenzy immediately after the news. Please stay with 95.1